Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in this world, and welcome to another country update. This update is from a good friend and fantastic speaker and very knowledgeable person about what's going on in South Korea, Haewon Boon. I'm really happy that you're able to join us. This is Haewon's third year with us, and each year she's given a presentation on insurance fraud in South Korea. Haewon is the director of Department of Financial Consumer Research in Korea Insurance Research Institute. Haewon is a research fellow at Korea Insurance Research Institute. Her work focuses on consumer choice, consumer behavior, and financial consumer policies issues. She's a member of the Insurance Investigation Committee, the Financial Service Commission of Korea. She also served as an advisory committee member of the Financial Supervisory Service between 2014 and 2017, and as a Korean delegate for the Insurance and Private Pension Committees, OECD, between 2013 and 2015. She holds a PhD in economics from Penn State University and her BA and MA in economics from Yonsei University. So I probably mispronounced a lot of that, Haewon, but thanks again for joining us, and it's always a pleasure to have you. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dennis. Hello, it's great to be back at Global Insurance Fraud Summit this year. I look forward to meeting anti-insurance fraud experts and learning from their experiences and insights this year as well. Today, I'm going to update you on some recent insurance fraud trends and changes in the anti-insurance fraud system in the Korean market since the previous summit. So before getting to the updates, let me give you an overview of the Korean insurance market for some of you who are not familiar with the market. The Korean insurance market is the seventh largest market and takes about 3.1% of the world market. As you can see in the figures, the Korean insurance market is quite mature. Premiums per capita are about $3,700, and premiums are about 12% of GDP. Korean health insurance, we call National Health Insurance or NHI system, is a public and single payer system. It is compulsory social insurance and covers the whole population residing in Korea. And this ensures contribution and government subsidy finance the NHI system. NHI covers fee schedule medical expenses except for co-payment part. Private insurers provide private complementary health insurance products. In Korea, both life insurers and non-life insurers can provide private health insurance, and we call it the third insurance. The third insurance business includes personal accident insurance, sickness insurance, long-term care insurance. Often, personal accident or sickness insurance products include indemnity health insurance products as riders. Indemnity health insurance covers 80 to 90% of non-fee schedule medical expenses and co-payment for fee schedule medical expenses. Since individual healthcare providers determine non-fee schedule cost, the cost structure of non-fee schedule treatment is more flexible than the fee schedule treatment. And it led to an increase in insurance fraud using non-fee schedule treatment. Here are several entities are fighting against insurance fraud in Korea. Insurers have SIUs, and 2 insurers associations have anti-insurance fraud divisions. Also, the financial regulator, FSS, has an insurance investigation office. They collect statistics on detective fraud and coordinate interagency insurance fraud investigation. Now let's move on to the recent statistics and trends in insurance fraud in Korea. The amount of insurance fraud detected in 2020 was about $761 million. The compound annual growth rate between 2010 to 2020 was about 9%. The proportion of long-term insurance fraud and auto insurance fraud are dominant. And if you look at the ratio over the fraud types, fraud using forced claims takes the biggest portion. According to the detective insurance fraud statistics in 2020, forced and exaggerated hospitalization decreased because of COVID-19. However, staged auto collision and inflating claims in auto insurance increased. Consequently, while frauds in the third insurance decreased, frauds in auto insurance increased. Also, fraudsters in their teens and 20s increased from 15,000 in 2019 to 18,000 in 2020 as professional insurance fraudsters recruit their new rookies using SMS. Last year, the public-private insurance joint investigation into healthy insurance fraud caught an enterprise-type medical advertisement broker committing organized insurance fraud. They make contract with the healthcare providers to entice patients by providing kickbacks. Affiliated healthcare providers conduct non-covered procedures such as cosmetic procedure or vision correction, then change code and forge medical records. The patients submit claims to the insurers with the forged document. Now I will talk about some positive updates. Last year, I pointed out 3 key challenges in fighting against insurance fraud in Korea, namely the problems in data sharing, investigation, and awareness and attitude on insurance fraud. We made some progress mitigating those challenges. First, the Special Act on Prevention of Insurance Fraud was enacted in 2016. This year, registers proposed 4 amendment bills to enhance the effectiveness of the law. The key items are introducing aggregated punishment for insurance professionals involved in insurance fraud, improving criteria for the propriety of hospitalization, prohibiting insurance fraud advertisement, and establishing legal grounds for SIU and insurance fraud investigation procedures. Also banning the disclosure of investigation requests and accusation of suspected insurance fraud. Regarding cooperation in insurance fraud investigation, FSS, the financial regulator, and NHIS, National Health Insurance Service, launched the Public-Private Insurance Joint Investigation Council in March this year. The Joint Investigation Task Force, formed last year, caught the enterprise-type medical advertising broker case we just saw. FFs has also strengthened their cooperation with the policy agency. Next. The auto insurance regime regarding minor injuries will change in 2023. The new system will apply fourth ratio on the damage of bodily injury liability. Also, the minor injured will have to submit the medical report for claims on the treatment exceeding 4 weeks. The new scheme improves payment standards for hospitalization fee for private rooms. Currently, auto insurance pays hospitalization fees in full, regardless of hospital room grade. The new regime also reforms the fee schedule for traditional Korean medicine, which have some problem. We expect this new regime can reduce opportunistic fraud. We also expect other changes within this year. First, the disclosure schemes will change as well. Currently, insurers associations disclose a number of lawsuits regarding claim payment, including the lawsuit for the restitution of fraudulent claim paid. However, they will announce the number of lawsuits for fraudulent claims restitution separately. So since we are now in different time zones, I cannot take your question in real time. However, if you have any questions, please email me to this address. Hope to see you all in person next year. And thank you again. And back to you, Dennis.
Thank you, Haewon. It's such a great presentation and really interesting to find out what's going on in Korea, and for the rest of the world to understand. You guys are really taking a strong, hard approach to people that are committing insurance fraud. And the statistics are really interesting with the younger people being recruited to commit insurance fraud, and some of the incentives that these organized crime groups are giving them, as a trend that's happening around the world. So thank you for pointing that out. I think the legislative changes too are something that this Global Insurance Fraud Summit has brought to light to a number of different countries. The regulatory authorities are really looking at, regulatory and legislative authorities are really looking at ways to mitigate this global pandemic of insurance fraud, if you will. So thanks again, Haewon. As usual, it was a great presentation, and I look forward to seeing you in person at the next summit.